You know, folks, we marvel at how MAGA just can't seem to understand what they've done by electing a madman who literally hates them and wants to rob them blind. Even after all logic and reason made it obvious they picked a loser, they don't get it. So, maybe we need to put it into terms they can understand. If they can't conceive of why liberals are furious about the assault on democracy, the rule of law, our prosperity, our futures, the health of the planet, etc., maybe we need to give them a few hypotheticals to chew on. Toss out a few possibilities that might really upset them if Dems were to come into office and shake things up in their lives. Of course, MAGA aren't much concerned with civics, or medicine, or education, or all that grown-up shit, but I bet they'd be pretty upset if a Dem president came on the scene and legislated some of the things they hold dear. Like, for instance, pew-pews. What if a Dem president came in and said, no more NRA, no more pew-pew sales, no more pew-pews in the produce section at the supermarket, no more semi-automatic rifles for the man-babies, no more responding to school massacres with thoughts and prayers and no action? What if a Dem president was like, Constitution, smonstitution, get rid of the guns, gun ranges gone, bump stocks ixnay on atnay. Sorry, MAGA, no more Rambo fantasies. Yeah. In fact, what if the charge to take away the pew-pews was led by George Soros? How would that feel, MAGA? I know, that's a biggie, huh? Okay, let's scale down a bit. What if kids were required to learn to recognize fake news and have critical thinking? Boy, that'd be rough at the breakfast table, huh, MAGA? It'd be Armageddon if your kids weren't quite so malleable. What if Fox News was limited to 3 hours a day of programming? Or even worse, what if the station was required to tell the truth? Or be renamed the Fantasy Network? Pretend news for Nimrods. All lies all the time. What if it was given a makeover? No more douchey dudes with mommy issues. No more plastic patties showing off their legs. What would y'all do? What if your favorite shock jocks like Tuckums and Hannity and your favorite token black woman, Candace Owens, were sued by the government for libel and shushed into oblivion? What if y'all were forced to learn how to spell? Tyranny! What if somebody finally did something about all those pervy priests who keep messing with kids at those churches y'all keep going to, even after settlement after settlement? What if child pageants were outlawed, and children's clothes were no longer allowed to be designed like sexy lady outfits, just scaled down for toddlers and kids? What if Pride Month became Pride Quarter, with rainbows plastered everywhere you look, and kids were required to do book reports on their favorite gay characters and their favorite LGBTQ plus friendly books? What if pronouns were required next to your signature every time you sign your name? What if there was a ban on child brides and a limit on the age difference between husbands and wives? So say, if our new press secretary wanted to marry a guy who's more than twice her age, like her current hubby, that wouldn't fly. What if Hooters became a franchise for drag shows and Chuck E. Cheese went vegan? Oh, that would hurt. What if day drinking was outlawed altogether? What if MAGA women were required to cut in half the amount of makeup they could use on a daily basis, and cheap cologne was banned for giving off noxious fumes? What if those balls men hang on their trucks were outlawed, and homeschoolers had to prove they were teaching more than just the Lord's Prayer and how to make a great sourdough starter? What if MAGA were required to get some weekly therapy to look at the roots of their racism and bigotry and misogyny and general all-around hatefulness? What if women's salaries were boosted so they were paid 10% more than men? What if white men had to prove they were worthy of their stations in life and not just riding on patriarchy to get where they are? What if MAGAs were required to learn another language and study the cultures of people in different countries and do the kinds of jobs that migrants do? Can you imagine, MAGA? I'll bet you can't. Yeah. Of course, so much of that is just stupid shit. Not nearly as important as stuff like healthcare and food assistance and bodily autonomy and civil rights and workers' protections and climate emergencies and education and living wages and social security and equal protections under the law and all kinds of other stuff. But you get the gist. You'd be pretty upset if folks swooped in and made sweeping changes to your lives after a very close election with only 24.3% of the whole population having voted for the cult. Anywho, hope this made it a little clearer. Well, MAGA, have the day you deserve. Yeah.